All right, class, who can tell me what animal is this? The clock is counting down. Who can tell me what animal this is? Now look closely. Does this animal have a larger than normal number of vertebrae in its neck? Does this animal have more bones in their legs than a human? I don't know. Let's see. Let's check out the next one and see if it's easy or difficult. The next one is right here. Who can tell me what animal this is? Very important to be able to tell what an animal is by its radiographic image. Yes, yes, you are here live with Dr. Croom on the Senior Pet Chat. And who can tell me what they think tonight's topic is as we go from this photo? This is the first one that we showed. Who can tell what that animal is? Now, if anyone knows that the teacher starts with the easier ones first, okay? So if you got this one, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got this one. But just know, we start with the easy ones in the beginning. So, yes, for all of those who said that it was a giraffe, you would be correct. Yay! All right, tonight, welcome everybody. It's Dr. Croom, and you are here for the Senior Pet Chat. I'm here every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern to do all things senior pets. There are so many senior pets out there. There are a lot of pet parents out there that really focus on that senior pet, and so do I. I love their grizzly grays. I love their little attitudes, whether it's a dog or a cat or a fish, right? We've talked about birds and reptiles of all sorts, the Senior Pet Chat, because we know that pet owners out there don't just have cats and dogs. They have a variety of animals, and that's what we love here at Dr. Croom Mobile Veterinary Service. But we started off at the top of the hour with a little quiz. We did a little quiz on the radiology because this week is National Radiology Week. That's right, National Radiology Week. Now, those of you who have joined me on IG, you don't get to see the little banners, unfortunately, on StreamYard, but over on the StreamYard, we put up National Radiology Week because and this is a really, really important part of the medical field. So me specifically with the veterinary field, that's why we've got the giraffes. And who came up with the answer for this one? And you can go ahead and put it right in the chat if you know the answer. Occasionally, I've started to do more and more contests or more and more, I guess you could say, engagement where certain people, if you're engaging, I'm going to send you out a prize to the house. So you just never know. Here at Dr. Croom at Steadfast International, we create and manufacture as well. So we don't just do services. Yes, we do veterinary services, and yes, we educate, but we also create and manufacture our own products. So you never know. You get some engagement going on here in the chat with some correct answers. And so, okay, over here on IG, I see someone said, someone said a zebra. Okay, good try. Not a zebra, though. I'm going to go ahead and show you here on this National Radiology Week. We've got a mandrill. Now, some of you may have noticed that because that skull definitely looks, on its way to human primates, right? Non-human primates. So we're very close. But again, that was just a couple of the radiographs that I have here on my radiology board, okay? And I'll tell you, when I do my future vet classes, the kids love this part of the session with the radiographs, and they can figure out what animal it is and what type of vertebrate it is, because it's very important to know what type of vertebrate as well. For instance, both of these animals that we just checked out on the x-ray are both mammals and belong in that family, in that kingdom, not kingdom, but that class of vertebrates. Okay. All right. So Radiology Week. Thank you for all the radiologists out there. I still remember during vet school at Tuskegee College of Veterinary Medicine, Dr. Bailey. Hey, Dr. Bailey, if you ever see this, thank you so much for your amazing radiology tutelage. You made it fun. You made it, what it really is, and a very important tool, diagnostic tool in not only your senior pets, but all pets. But, this is the senior pet chat. So we always kind of skew our conversation in that direction. And so we will be talking about some of the disease processes that you might find in your senior pet moving right along. Okay. So before we get into all of that, you know what? Let's do one more x-ray. Okay. Because I think we got some people out in the audience here who might think they're kind of smart. And I bet you're probably right. So, all right. Which one? Who knows this animal? Put it in the chat. I'm looking at the gram. I'm looking over here at the book. Who's got it first? I think my dog might. She hears my voice all excited over here. I hear her running to go get the ball. Okay, so I know somebody's going to get that answer. The kids usually get that one pretty quickly. The kids. And if you said elephant, you would be absolutely correct. So, could you imagine being out there as a wildlife veterinarian? Some of my veterinary colleagues are wildlife veterinarians. This is one of the main topics we go over with our Future Vet project. A lot of students don't necessarily know all the different ways that you can be a vet. You got vets out there, traveling from continent to continent, doing sedation, doing surgeries, and really getting right in the mix. And here I am in Southwest Michigan doing mobile veterinary services, going from home to home to home and taking services that are widely appreciated. So we appreciate our clients as well. So, as we move along through your pet's life, they're going through things, even as a young pet. You might have a young dog and they are running around and jump down into a little ditch or something, and whoop, what do you know? One of their limbs gets a break or a fracture, or any of these little joints that are here. I had to pull out my favorite little Halloween dog, right? You already knew I had to pull that one out. I love this. I tell you, you can get these dogs at like Michael's or these art supply stores and everything. And I just love them because they're pretty darn close to correct anatomically. I'm like, you got all the muscles. Now, when I was taking my chiropractic practical and written exam and everything like that, I even had this to look at, like, okay, because it has the exact correct number of thoracic vertebrae, cervical vertebrae, got your lumbar vertebrae, and all of that, the ribs, correct number of ribs. And so I picked this old skeleton up from Michael's. You can see it was kind of like a Halloween. You see the eyes are a little demonic there. But if we overlook that, we can just pretend this is Fluffy right here. And we can check out a lot of these joints that are going to come into play for senior pets. And, during Radiology Week, we want to highlight the fact that, a lot of times if a dog is limping or a cat is limping, or any pet, because you could have something as small as a gecko, right? And it can be limping, and you're like, okay, is it broken? Is it a fracture? Like, what's really going on? And sometimes there can be some ways to perhaps figure out what's going on without radiograph, but I'm telling you, it makes it that much easier to figure out the cause of that limping with a simple x-ray. You shoot the x-ray, you look for the areas of density and lightness, which is how you can tell when there's something solid there versus air. And, you keep it moving. So we would like to thank all of our veterinary radiologists out there, woo, Dr. Bailey, as well as all of our regular radiologists out there that do very, very important work for us. As animals age, you can guess they've got issues with lack of cartilage, maybe not getting enough, or perhaps their body is, sucking it up and there's not enough in the bloodstream. There's a lot of reasons that bones could become more brittle when we age. And so that can sometimes mean more easily to fracture, right? But it could also mean that they can't bear as much weight overall as they become more and more senior. It could also mean that with the actual joints and interdigital joints, that the little cushions, we're supposed to have that little cushion in there, right? And that starts to wear down. It's like, geez, getting older, that is really not the joint. But we can do things to offset those issues in our pets. Things that maybe we don't even do for ourselves. We start getting a little older and everything. I don't see us going out and getting glucosamine and all these things for ourselves, or maybe I just haven't started getting it yet, but I might need to soon. But one of the things that you can definitely do for the furry ones in your family that are getting older, even before they start to limp, right, is to have them on some type of glucosamine supplement. Of course, I have one, a really, really great product. And you can find that at drcroom.com. But in the meantime, if you already got them on some glucosamine or you have some tablets already at home, make sure you're using them. I came across a client earlier today who, I was like, okay, well, Fluffy's limping a little bit. And, so do you have some glucosamine? And she was like, yes, I do. But I've just been a little down on giving it. And everybody deals with that. We're trying to take care of our lives, our kids, making lunches, being entrepreneurs, doing all of that stuff. And we're supposed to remember to give the dog a glucosamine tablet. Yes, you are. And no, you're not supposed to remember. Why? That's the reason I'm here. I'm here to give you some of that information and kind of rev up those juices to remind you that that the senior pets can go through some of the same issues that we deal with as senior humans. And winter's coming. I know not all of my viewers are in Michigan like I am. Some might be down south or somewhere where you're like, ha ha ha, I don't have to worry about all that. But even in places where it's just rainy, you might feel it a little bit in your joints, as we get to become more senior. And the same thing for pets. I mean, it might be worse for them, perhaps. I don't know. They're on the ground. They're feel all the vibrations and sniffing the air and can tell it's going to rain 3 weeks in advance. I mean, they are amazing animals, and so we want to make sure we give them the very best. And so for potentially preventing joint pain, you want to get something with glucosamine in it. Like I said, I've got some. Let me see if I can pull up something over here. Okay. Oh, there's some comments over here. Hi, Kelly. How you doing? You said you're considering a CBD for your senior dog. Okay. And Kelly is also asking if my CBD with the turmeric. I assume she's talking about mine because I have CBD with turmeric. So I appreciate your question, Kelly. It's when you know that you have longtime friends and clients and customers from way back. They're like, what? Let me ask her a question about her line of CBD, right? And I appreciate that because we don't always necessarily bring up everything that we're doing. But to help alleviate joint pain, it definitely has shown a benefit in my clients. And they keep ordering from me again and again. And for me, that's all the testing I need, although my products are tested. So I do manufacture my own product. And the one that Kelly's mentioning is my 500 milligram CBD with turmeric. And if you're familiar with turmeric, it's another anti-inflammatory, a very potent one. So yes, Kelly, depending on the size of your animal, you may want the 500 milligram with the turmeric. But for those of you who have maybe a cat, right, or a very small dog, you're like, I don't need 500 milligrams. 250 milligrams is a nice place to start. And those are carried in a couple of different places here in the Kalamazoo area. So, you can get it from me if you live in California. Go ahead and go to my site. But for those of you who are right here in the Kalamazoo area in Southwest Michigan, you can go right to Sewall's Health Food Store. as well as Natural Health Center on West Main. And I think that's really cool that those, family-owned businesses also are carrying family-owned and veteran-owned products. So you can find mine at drcroom.com. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, I think your dog, who you said she had a stroke, the CBD with the turmeric, I think would be something that could definitely relieve her. CBD can be very helpful for a lot of things. It's not a cure-all for everything, that's for sure. And I'll tell anybody that in a minute, but it can do a lot, and our body does have natural receptors for it. So, all right, enough of this talk. It's time for another quiz. What? All right, we got one more quiz. Now, this one is one that has kind of stumped some people, okay? It's stumped a few adults. It's stumped quite a few children. Let's see what you're going to put into the chat. Now, I'm looking on the Instagram and I'm looking on the Facebooks and the LinkedIn. Actually, I can't see everything, honestly, because since I decided to go live on Instagram tonight, I cannot see the chat on like maybe Turnera page. So if you're putting it in here right now, I don't see it. Sorry. But yes, let's take another look. Kind of tall, huh? Look at those tall, long legs. Now we already had seen the giraffe, right? Because now we're getting into comparative radiology, right? So earlier we already saw the giraffe. Now look at those. Look at those neck bones. Look at those cervical vertebrae. And then we come and look at this animal, and same number of vertebrae, but different configuration there because it's got a different bodily function. Long legs, just like the giraffe, long legs, a little different. All right, hopefully no one answered on the other place. And the answer is camel. Did any of you guess that? A lot of people get thrown off because they're like, where's the hump? Who knows what the hump is made out of? One of the reasons that we can see bones on x-ray is because it's a solid, and so it produces the whiteness. The light bounces back at you, whereas something that's not solid or totally clear or semi, then some light is going to get through, so it's going to be a little darker. So here you see there is no bone in the hump, okay? Did we learn something new tonight? Maybe. All right. So I think that's about it. No point in prolonging this. We've got senior pets that we've talked about tonight. We've talked about the fact that it is National Radiology Week, but it's actually also another week. It's also National Animal Shelter Week. And if you're following along with my Dr. Croom Army Vet page on Facebook, as well as my LinkedIn, you will see some posts that I have about National Animal Shelter Week. And I spoke about, with the Three Wise Pet Pros, I spoke about shelters and how important they are. The three of us, kind of chatted about that and brought up some shelters that we know about. So we want to say thank you to all of those out there that are in the shelter world, other veterinarians, animal shelter volunteers. You know how big volunteers are in the shelter world? They are huge. If you are a volunteer, thank you. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to all the shelters out there that do what you do. And then another little slightly sadder note, it's a part of life, sure, but it is also today National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day. And so, lymphoma is a type of cancer that, just like it sounds, it can form in really any of the lymph nodes of the body, making it that much more deadly because when they spread to the lymph nodes, that's when it more easily can spread out through the body, unless it's caught quickly. So that's another reason that you want to do blood work on your animals and do some other diagnostic testings. If you start to see some signs of lethargy or, just anything different than your pet's normal, you have got to be that main one to notice those things, observe them, make a note, call the vet, see if it's an emergency. So it's really important, the observations you make for your pet. It's specifically Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day, but you know that other animals and humans as well get lymphoma. It can be really sad to see it. Sometimes it can be fast moving or slow moving, and sometimes you can get a lot of good life out of a pet that has gotten a diagnosis of lymphoma. So even I, as a holistic veterinarian, have some holistic um, modalities that can help ease the pain that come with lymphoma, the discomfort, and everything like that. So make sure you check me out at drcroom.com for some holistic remedies for a variety of things. And so last but not least, we're getting out of here on one final x-ray. This is another one that tends to trick them. And after this, we are out. Who knows? Again, I'm not able to see the... Right? Obviously, we know it's a bird of some sort. But it's a little different than most of the birds we see. All right. I'm going to give you the answer. If you said snowy owl, you are super smart. Super duper smart, as are all of my viewers, followers. Thank you so much. I love sharing this with you. Make sure that you come check me out at drcroom.com if you need anything at all for your senior pet, whether it's advice, whether it's supplements, my CBD, or just a good chuckle. Maybe I'll get one of my little comic strips back out and going again. Hey, Radhika! All right. Peace, you guys.